We all need a little more compassion.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello from a wintry, freezing Jersey Shore. Thank you for joining me today for your daily dose of inspiration and positivity. That's right, we had some stormy weather. I'm going to put it that way. Most of the Northeast saw a blanketing of snow. Here at the Jersey Shore, nope, nothing. Just rain, just high winds. It's a little sad for me. I've been watching the news and all of the pictures and the people making snowmen and the dogs running around in the snow and everybody having a good time. Not here. Not at the Jersey Shore. All rain. Very high winds. In fact, I don't think our grill cover is going to make it. I already readjusted it numerous times. It looks like it's still dark out. Looks like it's halfway off once again, and I officially give up. I give up until my husband gets home. Joe spent the night in a hotel last night near his work, so he is safe and sound. I had him take my car because I have the all-wheel drive, like I was mentioning yesterday. Apparently, and this is the oddest part about it, you know, I never really take anything out of my car. I have my ice scraper and all of that. Keep it in there. But we did go to the Outer Banks in October. So I've had an ice scraper in the back of my car until the middle of October, when I took it out to make room for packing. And you guessed it, never put it back in. So I'm so sorry, babe. I feel terrible. He managed. He's at work. He's good. But yeah, it was an exciting day around here. If you like snow, other than the Jersey Shore area, if you got a chance to see any, they're still on the news walking around with their unofficial yardstick. Just constantly walking around with a yardstick, putting it in snow to see how much snow we got. Some of the area, it looks like the Philadelphia area got a little around 6 inches, which is, significant. We haven't had snow in a while. I don't think we got one major storm last year with accumulating snow. I think we got a couple of days here and there with just, some flurries, what have you, maybe a dusting, but nothing to really worry about. So I think a lot of people were excited about this one. The wind did cause the rain to completely cover my inside porch because it's just screened in. And now it's all turned to ice. Oh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. It's okay. We'll get the next snow. And this time I will make sure to have the ice scraper inside of my car. The quote of the day today is, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Talking a little bit about compassion today. Right on to the question of the day, sticking with the topic of stockings. And what do you stuff in those bad boys? I was having a conversation with my sister about it because she was just asking me what I put in my stockings. I say anything that fits. Anything that fits. But the must-have growing up and still to this day, whenever I fix a stocking, has to be a toothbrush. There has to be a toothbrush in there. It's a staple. Now, we've gotten some great ideas. If you're still doing some shopping and you haven't finished up yet, here are some great ideas to stuff in your loved one's stockings, and maybe you will get some too. Linda says a Christmas Pez candy dispenser. Good idea. Joe says coal and a sack of candy coins. I have put in the coal in the stockings for years. I have finally figured out nobody eats it. I mean, it's candy coal. Nobody eats it. I did not buy it this year. I'm going to start skipping it. However, I do always put, which Joe also said, a sack of candy coins. I've always gotten a sack of candy coins, too, depending on where I am. Typically from the dollar store. This year, I got better candy coins. I got them from Trader Joe's, and I hear they are delicious. So I can't wait to try one of the people's stockings that I stuff, their candy coins, because I never get any. I never get any candy coins. I don't need them. This is not a hint, babe. I'm just saying. All right, Wilbur says socks, candy, fruit, and money. Ooh, I've never put or received money in. That's nice. Kathy says beach passes. That's a great one for this area if you're living at the shore. Michelle says chapstick. Eve says a book of lifesavers. It's a tradition in our house. We used to get them when we were kids, a book of lifesavers. Eleanor says candy. Never too grown up for candy. I second that. Katie says my mom does ours still every year, and it's literally my most favorite. Chapstick, purse-size Kleenex, new toothbrush, a piece of candy, a clementine, travel-size hand lotion, and travel-size flossers. The younger generation that receives them has named them bags of hygiene stuff. I dated a guy one time whose mother put fruit in it. Apparently, there's a long tradition of oranges inside of the stocking, and I forget what the message behind it is. I think that really there was just a time where fruit was so hard to come by that it was such a treat. Marcy says candy. Laurie says Hershey Kisses and orange and undies. Nicole says candy. Charlene says it doesn't matter as long as there's something. I agree with that. Linda says someone already covered scratch off, so I'll go with poopery. Yeah, a lot of people said scratch offs. Poopery, you're not familiar, is that tiny little can, to cover the smell. That's a good idea. I did not get any of the poopery. Lauren says Reese's peanut butter cups, please. Jennifer says chapstick, batteries, and chocolate. Every year the same, plus some other tchotchkes. Why do they spell tchotchkes the way that they do? It really does not make any sense at all. Tchotchkes. Should be no T's in there. Well, maybe the second T. I don't know. I know I've rambled off path as usual. So there are some great ideas for stocking stuffers. I will try to keep note of the things that I put in the stockings this year so that I can tell you afterwards. I can't tell you because of the 2 stockings that I stuff. Listen to the podcast. But I've gotten some real interesting things for those stockings this year. I have to tell you, we have very decorative stockings. And I waited until after Christmas to buy these from Bed Bath & Beyond. They are burlap stockings with starfish on them, and they are gorgeous. However, they don't really fit much stuff. So I think from maybe not this year, because I really don't want to go back out again. I'm pretty much done. I'm not pretty much done. I'm done. Done. Nothing else to buy. Finished. Will not allow myself to buy anything else. Oh, except for one gift card. I have to get one gift card. And that's at a local place around here, so that's fine. But next year, I think maybe I'll get actual giving stockings. That way I can stuff them ahead of time. That's the other thing with this one. It's where I keep them. There's no way that they would stay up with all the stuff in them. So I can stuff them ahead of time and then just hide them with the rest of the presents, and voila, Christmas morning, bring it out. All ready to go. Not have to run in the back room with the stocking on Christmas morning, stuff it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. is what I'm going to do. I'm looking at one. I did buy a new stocking this year, and I think that one will be good for stuffing. So maybe I'll use that for Joe, but then he would have to use the starfish one for me. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Thank you for going with me while I figure this whole plan. I'm sure that you've been entranced and on the edge of your seat, waiting to hear what will happen with the stockings at the McClure household. I know. It's riveting. Riveting! We need a little more compassion. Yes, we do. It seems there is a big lack of compassion these days. Empathy is when you can feel sorry for people and situations you have never been in. Contrast to sympathy is when you feel bad for a situation that you have been in. Now, empathy is not something I've been very good at my entire life, but I am working on it. It is truly hard to understand another's point of view if you have never been in their shoes. All you really have to do is put yourself in their place or imagine someone close to you going through a tough situation. And that usually helps to spread the compassion. I've known people who had been very against homosexuality until they found out someone they knew was gay. Suddenly, not as big an issue as it seemed before. The thought that it was wrong becomes the realization that maybe someone's happiness is more important than one's principles, especially if it has nothing to do with you. I have suddenly developed lower back pain, and I can tell you, it is no fun. And I now feel bad for all those times I've heard people complaining about their back pain and didn't give the adequate amount of empathy. I thought it couldn't be as bad as they said. I said that because I've never experienced it. And now I feel like a heel. So I'm sorry to all of those I have poo-pooed in the past. I now know better. And this is what Maya Angelou said. When you know better, you do better. It's a similar situation when it comes to judging people for transgressions they may have done in the past. Maybe it was cheating on their spouse, or taking drugs, or selling drugs, or stealing. You don't truly know the situation until you are the one in it. Now, I am not making excuses for these behaviors. I feel that this is going to be taken the wrong way or taken out of context. I am not making an excuse for these behaviors. I am just saying there may be, and usually is, more to the story than you realize. No one wants to grow up being a drug dealer. No one wants to grow up being a drug user. You know, there are people that get into it and then become complete and total dregs on society. I do admit that, for sure. Nobody wants to steal. Well, that's not true either. But you know what I mean. Nobody grows up thinking, oh, I'm going to be the most fabulous thief. Maybe it's just a little more compassion for these situations would help solve some problems. For example, you may have no sympathy for those who overdose on drugs because you think they get what they deserve until you find out it's your child that has the problem. Then likely you will think a little differently, and a little compassion can go a long way. Treating people with kindness instead of judgment can go a long way. There are people in the position to judge and dole out the proper consequences for these transgressions. Again, I'm not saying people don't need to be held accountable for their choices and their actions. I believe they do, 100%. But a little compassion and understanding can go a long way. It's Thursday, people. 1 week until Christmas Eve. Yay! So go out there and try to pass on passing judgment today. Give it a try. See how it feels. And make today badass, because it can be and should be, you know I'm here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Ho, ho, ho.